Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. His life is about to drastically alter. I also anticipate this to have far-reaching consequences for blockchain and distributed ledger technologies. When I say no, it's not because of the cost. I'm just stating that this solves a lot of the issues that arise during the adoption process. When discussing trade finance, I believe we should begin here because that is where everything will begin to fit together. I said in May that this would be a watershed event for the industry as a whole, and I am even more convinced of that prediction now. Trade finance is where it all begins. Right now, I'd like to play the brief video that Marina uploaded. Chris Southworth, of the UK's International Criminal Court, ICC, is discussing legitimate business documents. This is critical knowledge. So, listen up, since we often focus too much on the trade paper section. Not only will the use of, instance, electronic promissory notes or other new financial tools that are cheaper, faster, and easier to use, but there is another component of this law that will really make the financial market more receptive to new ideas. While we anticipate a sizable market, the associated anti-money laundering, AML, and TLAC documentation is causing significant difficulties for financial institutions. We are aware that trade credit may be more affordable and accessible. The high compliance standards, however, are a major issue. The moment is right to take a fresh look at the budget and see what can be done to improve it. We've all been hoping for this for quite some time. The same is true for those who work in trade or international finance. Okay, I think we've made it. And right now, in my opinion, is the time to begin making this a reality. That's an intriguing point. The issue goes beyond commerce. These innovative financial instruments have numerous applications. And they will be useful in many contexts. They can be invested in the growth and development of local enterprises and utilized to pay local governments. So, as a revolution that extends beyond trade finance, but in trade finance specifically, we can do so much better than you are. And the banks and finance industries have zero bearing on that. The reality that we are operating in a new, predominantly digital environment is lost on our relatively antiquated governing mechanisms. Therefore, we have a fantastic opportunity to improve our methods and create many more chances. The ultimate objective is to replenish the economy, particularly the funding of small enterprises. So, certainly, this is a very significant development for the entire sector. The more I think about it, the more movies I realize I've mentioned this deed in. To hasten the process of digitalization, tokenization, and acceptance of this technology, I believe it warrants more focus than ever before. This has the potential to significantly alter the landscape of finance and trade finance. The United Kingdom has informed us that, as a member of the ICC, it has received royal assent for the Electronic Trade Papers Act, meaning that it will be ready to go digital 1 week before the commencement date. And it's clear that the major actors are supporting this. This is why so many influential people and organizations in the sector support it. It has reached a critical mass. Let's travel through time even if it means repeating a few of the many thrilling aspects of our adventure. 2016 saw the introduction of SWIFT's trade financing to the digital realm. 7 years have passed and nothing has changed. The first fully digital trade finance transactions will occur in just a few days. This is why. It means a lot to us because we've been hoping for this for a long time. Not to mention the crucial role that SWIFT plays in this. And it's common knowledge that Trade Phoenix and SWIFT have been collaborating for quite some time. In a minute, we'll discuss how this system aims to become the network of networks supporting trade finance. But it was only a short while ago, in August of 2021. We also witnessed internet commerce. The current time in SWIFT, where we did get to see more of how this operates, is. And when you consider the crucial role that commerce plays in driving economic expansion and helping the global economy recover from the pandemic, the importance of this point becomes clear. You can see, then, how crucial commerce really is. This paper contributes to the discussion of trade digitization by using data from the SWIFT strategy and the insights of our community. Digitizing trade has the potential to boost the economy significantly by lowering transaction costs and eliminating potential dangers. Everything revolves heavily around the DLT as well. And DLT is what we see as we look into the future. Blockchain is the term for it. Don't forget that the largest deficit is roughly $5 trillion right now. The biggest shift is perhaps still far off, yet here we are at DLT. Letters of credit are still the same. Technology will play an increasingly important role in the delivery of risk management and financial services to consumers and the industry at large, in our opinion. Transformations in IoT DLT, smart contracts, and APIs, for example, may make it simpler for LCS to assume new forms. The future of these services will be heavily reliant on the evolution of common data standards. The elimination of time-consuming paperwork and the associated expenses and hazards will make digitalizing LCS a boon to both buyers and sellers. We can use distributed ledger technology and a blockchain for this purpose. This is a fantastic opportunity. Again, in just a matter of days, this will become a reality. This has been long overdue. This shows that the virus is having an economic impact. What allowed scanning to take place was this. We're only in the beginning stages currently. Trade finance is the starting point for all of this, and as I've indicated, it will snowball into something much larger. The digitalization of trade finance and banking is just the beginning. Zenefin deserves a lot of credit for being a pioneer in the field of digital trade finance. For trade finance to be the first major business to embrace this technology and the first to be fundamentally altered by it, substantial sacrifices will need to be made. The BIS has been involved for some time as well. Central banks may employ DLT for trade finance, security settlement, and digital currency in 2021. They were also the most prominent figures in trade finance, an area where distributed ledger technology, DLT, could have a significant impact. We now believe that openness is the greatest strategy to advance digital trade post 9/11. Just up until now, I've been talking about a network of networks. So, we'll be discussing that here. We need less isolation, which necessitates access to even more networks. We need everyone to pull together for this. Interoperability and the business strategy are the most crucial aspects of this. So, upon further reflection, this isn't merely a technological issue. How we use technology is also an issue. It's how we guarantee that all of the technologies we employ are in step with the standards we've set. Therefore, it is essential that everything is interoperable. And we need the ability to get them to cooperate. Find a solution, and tell me how we're going to find it. It's not that complicated. You're connected to other networks, but only two of your endeavors stand out as crucial. This was revised on August 16th of this year. Initially released in 2019, December. I agree that the only players were from the ICC and the DSI. Even more convincing is the fact that the world has opted for DLT rather than us. And now it's obvious that they must coincide. And what do you know, then? Things are starting to standardize now. But this is about a single individual. It is his duty to establish criteria. The International Chamber of Commerce has begun developing digital trade standards to be used in all sectors of the economy. The work of the Universal Trade Network and other projects and organizations in the industry will be expanded upon by these standards. The purpose is to facilitate information exchange between blockchain-based platforms. Therefore, the interledger connection could be made. Again, we could end the discord once and for all. We'd like this at the layer where all the networks meet. The network of networks is what? Trade Phoenix, a network of networks, analyses competitiveness based on more than just probability. Whoever mentioned that about the XT system being used by Zinfandel Trade Phoenix also deserves credit. Swift, MT798, was also likely mentioned in that instantaneous paper. Well, it's because Trade Phoenix aspires to be a network of networks by linking non-DLT trade finance projects to SWIFT in the same way that DLT using trade finance projects like Voltron and SWIFT, MT798 do. This is why I focused so much energy on Trade Phoenix. Other organizations with DSIs, unlike Trade Phoenix, have already addressed the interoperability problem and are seizing a tremendous opportunity in trade financing by working together. In addition, the DSI, International Chamber of Commerce, digital standards effort has been digitizing commercial records for over 2 decades. Since 2017, the MLATR has been adopted in 7 different nations. This is a big one, a really big one. Remember that the ICC is the primary organization pushing for digital trade finance, and that interoperability will likely lead to greater general acceptance, increasing the share of digital flows by 2030 and beyond. The more accessible and inexpensive the core features of an app are, the more users will be enticed to use it. New liquidity providers will also be required to back the agreements. Infant has been doing a fantastic job, and this has a lot to do with it. Here we see that the ICC, in collaboration with the SWIFT community, created a new standard model API for guarantees and standby lines of credit on September 8. The model API has been ported to the SWIFT standard platform, making it accessible to a wider audience. As I've already mentioned, the importance of API plug-and-play cannot be overstated. Additionally, September 13 demonstrates this to be correct. They are redistributing the ICC DSI link on LinkedIn. What's more, the G20 trade ministers have agreed on 10 groundbreaking principles to expedite the deployment of digital trade processes, making the hard work of our ICC DSI team over the previous few months worthwhile. According to Emily, we are currently living in the era of online shopping. I agree that the FCC plays a significant role and can't wait for widespread adoption of this change. At first, it will only be available in the United Kingdom, but with MLATR at the helm, we expect rapid expansion. This is because it is common knowledge that the ICC is affiliated with a vast array of influential individuals and organizations. It's only possible with the assistance of others. It's all over today. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.